Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Group Chat. Your favorite show?
Welcome back. Real quick, did you guys know that I have a new job? I am now a garbage man.
Oh, I saw that. Good work, man. Way to really get out there and just do what you're told.
it was a favor. It was a big favor to take out the trash.
What did you think I was going to ask you?
I don't know. You literally said I have a very big favor to ask you. It was serious. I thought I was going to have to go save the day or something.
And it was at night?
Yes. I went over at 10:30 at night.
And so you were like, what could this possibly be?
No. Sorry. He called me in the middle of the day and goes, I have a big favor to ask.
Got it. So got it. And you were there. Listen, I've heard some stories about how you act when people recognize you in public. I think this was good for you. This was
a humbling trash experience.
Sometimes you got to take out the trash to remember, what's important in life.
Yeah.
So good stuff. That was good to see on social media. I'm glad you posted it. And it was a very funny, you did a good job.
Thank you.
Okay, well, the trash man is back. We got a hot episode. Anand's out. I think he went to where, like south of France or something.
Ibiza. Like
Ibiza. Yeah.
That's not where, those aren't in the same countries. You know that, right?
Ibiza. I thought it's just where rich people go, right? I mean, I figure, if he's not here, he's probably somewhere incredible. So it's Dee and I, and of course, Pete and newly capitalist Tim. We got a lot to talk about. Number one, we're talking about one of our, well, we kind of joked about this earlier, but someone who we know that essentially became a celebrity and was canceled overnight all in the same day. And it was for the strangest thing. You won't believe what this guy discovered that made him famous.
Yes.
On top of that, we have news about Discord, massive valuation. Prince Harry has a new job already. So big interview with Oprah, lands a new job.
Love it.
I mean, loves it. We have a massive jam up if you are in the production business, waiting on maybe goods to come. There's a bit of a traffic jam going on over in the Suez. Things are looking a little fishy. It might be some time, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
On top of that, the newest blockchain, I'd say like NFT related, feels like a scam. It's the new hustle.
Feels like a scam, but we may have turned our opinion on it by the end of the conversation.
I totally agree. But I feel like every episode we have a new one of these like blockchain things that pops up. We got a new one for you today. The future of the vaccine. Can people demand that other people get the vaccine? One big college university is already starting to do that, and we're going to talk about it. Of course, we end with our winners, losers, and content. We got a hell of an episode. Who is ready?
Woo! Woo!
Yee!
I like that. Okay, let's get into it. Time for some group chat.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shrimp Chat. The reason I said that is because number one, so I kind of saw a little bit of bubbling on social media, something about like shrimp tails included in Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but I didn't really like think about it. And then we come in here, sit down, and Pete is sitting with a freaking box of Shrimp Toast Crunch. What's happening? Is this real? There's shrimp tails in Cinnamon Toast Crunch now?
So the reason why this story is perfect for us to discuss, because one, I'm a fan of the cereal, no doubt. It's a great cereal.
Probably my favorite cereal, I think.
Whoa.
Enjoy the leftover milk post
incredible.
Is heavenly. So what happened was there was a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch that a comedian, rapper, and actually someone we know, Jensen Karp,
He's the one who
Hot
started
Karl,
it?
yes, posted on social media that he found what appears to be a shrimp coated with cinnamon toast. Or
Probably
cinnamon.
a delightful shrimp.
Yeah. And he, posted it out on social media that it was literally, it looks like a shrimp. I mean, I don't know how food is packaged and I don't know the process, but it's not shocking that some wrong type of food and ended up in a box. And anyways, it became so viral on social media because he then went at General Mills, and General Mills just they kind of challenged him and was like, prove it to us. And instead of just saying, you're probably right, send it to us, we'll figure this out. So then he's a very witty guy. He's on morning radio in LA, I think on K-Rock now. And so, he has all the witty responses. And I'll tell you the backstory of how we know him, but it goes insanely viral. So you see all the cinnamon shrimp, what was it? Cinnamon
toast.
Shrimp crunch?
Cinnamon tail, cinnamon seafood crunch.
Yeah. So you see all the things that went viral, and it appears like, it looks like two pieces of shrimp got in that bag, and were coated with the magic of cinnamon toast. And then the internet finds out Jensen Karp, aka Hot Karl, I'll explain Hot Karl, the name shortly, is married to, and I know this because we know him, Topanga Daniel Fishel from Boy Meets World, which she's like a cultural icon, especially for young teenage boys of that era in the 90s, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Fast forward, I went to college with Jensen Karp. And the way I discovered Jensen Karp was at USC one night. We had our spring whatever you call it, spring outdoor concert series. And Naughty by Nature was the headliner. Mm-hmm. And during the Naughty by Nature show, they go, anyone want to come up here and freestyle battle? And like 10 people go up. 9 of them are African-American. Mm-hmm. And Jensen hops on stage and, he's a Jewish kid from Calabasas and absolutely crushes it. And everyone
out
at
of
school
nowhere,
was
like no one. You guys just thought he was like some dude at your college.
Yeah, we just knew that like we had heard that this kid, there's some kid at USC that was like rapping whatever.
Got it.
Then I don't remember the sequence of events. I don't know if this was before or right after, but I think it was right after. And if you grew up in LA on Power 106 at 8 p.m. every night, there was like a rap battle thing where you call in on your home landline and you battle someone. He won the most nights ever in the radio station's history, just beating everybody, freestyle battling. That he ended up getting a record deal from Interscope Records, and it was this massive record deal. His features are the most ridiculous people on earth. It was Kanye. It was, I don't like Bubba Sparks. I mean, it was just like crazy people of the time, of that era, 2001, 2002 era. And anyways, and it appears that Interscope ended up signing him to make sure that he never came out, because Interscope just wanted to own kind of like white rappers in that era. So they signed Eminem, they had Bubba Sparks, they had a bunch of other guys too. And that was, I think, their strategy was like, hey, let's just sign him, give him a bunch of money. Even they actually put out like an album that they never even put out. And I have it somewhere, the CD in my house somewhere. I have to pull it out. But anyways, the guy ends up going on to start an art gallery called Gallery 1988. And, he's just a fixture in LA, just kind of culture. And now he's on a radio. He's a morning radio guy at K-Rock. He's married to Topanga. And he's also the cinnamon shrimp crunch guy. And so the internet finds out all these things. Oh yeah.
What a resume this guy has.
Yeah, it's really fascinating because he's actually a very smart and witty guy. But the dark part about when the internet finds out who you are, they find out everything. And I don't want to put out all the negative stuff, but the New York Post came out with the article, "The internet turns on Jensen Karp."
What type of, obviously you don't want to blast him, but like what type of stuff he's said in the past or something? Old tweets?
Yeah. No, it's really like previous relationships with women.
Oh, got it.
So,
okay, let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
Well, do you think Do you think that Jensen, because he is a very witty guy, do you think that this genuinely just happened to him and he posted it? Or do you think that this was part of some sort of scheme?
So what's interesting is Topanga Danielle posted, "I'm eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch with my coffee mate," and everyone thought she got paid by Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but in fact she got paid by Coffee Mate, which is also kind of a weird thing to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch with. But great timing for the ad. But there could be something, I don't know. It's extremely well done, everything. And he's very witty and smart, so I'm not surprised. I don't know. It's a lot. There's so many moving pieces on this particular Cinnamon Toast Crunch thing.
He also found a second bag that down on the corner here was all taped up with Scotch tape and had supposedly droppings of like rat feces throughout it. It just seems like, how do you get 2 boxes with that?
But also, why would you be on such a like tear towards Cinnamon Toast Crunch? I mean,
yeah, he's got a vendetta.
Incredible product. What's the vendetta, Jensen?
Yeah.
Karl, I don't know what to call you. You're like Pete.
Yeah. Who are you?
Matthew, Pete, who are you really?
Who are you really?
Okay, well, I mean, another day in the internet, man. And you know what's funny is we joked the other day about how when Anand was saying the shelf life of celebrities is getting shorter and shorter. And we joked that it will eventually get to one day where you come out, you go viral, you get canceled all in the same day. That just happened to Jensen. I mean, think about that. This guy blew up. His relationships got exposed, like a TMZ type, in the old days. And then he got canceled in like 48 hours.
I don't even know if it was 48. I think it was like morning to night.
Oh my God.
Like 12 hours.
Man.
Yeah,
what a life though, man. What, like one day when you imagine you're like Jensen's grandchild's friend and you go over to have a beer with old grandpa Jensen and he tells you his life story. You're going to be like, that guy is full of shit. That guy has dementia. And nope, it's just Jensen's life.
Oh, I mean, I have so many stories just from him, from his early, rap days. And, one of the first collaboration 5-4 ever did was with Jensen. And it was a t-shirt that we did for Fred Siegel exclusively that says, "Your housekeeper hates you."
That's good. It's good. Add it to the resume, man.
I mean, can you imagine the stories this guy has? It's amazing. And I mean, I know so much of just when he got signed because his manager is a friend also. His manager at that time was a friend who went to college with me as well. It's just, I mean, insane. Life is insane. The internet is insane. And, fame is something that a lot of people seek, but we don't realize the baggage that comes with it.
Yeah. That's for sure. I'm dying to find out. I'm sure we'll find out. I'm dying to find out if that was just a harmless meaning, like, hey, look what I found. And then this all just unraveled. You know what I mean?
It seems way too planned. He was firing out tweets like every 5 minutes. He was sending it off to get a detector to a research lab to figure out if it was actually a tail or not. He was going back at Cinnamon Toast Crunch on Twitter. It just seemed way too plotted.
I agree, man. Okay, well, we'll find out. I mean, we'll eventually find out and we'll let it be known. But I'm just dying to know if it was planned from the start or he's just a really witty guy. This weird thing happened to him and then he just kicked into hot Karl mode and made it content. You know what I mean? But if you conceived it from the start and you went and bought some shrimp, ripped off the tails, mixed them around in some cinnamon and said, look what I found, that's insane.
Yeah. I mean, I don't put it past anybody for anything. And he's very smart. I mean, even just listening to him as an artist, he was so witty and ahead of his time. I think he wrote a book, and I think the book's title, because Kanye did a bunch of records for him on his album that never came out. I think it says Kanye owes me $300. I think that's was the name of the book. But yeah, I'm curious to see where this whole story goes. It's fascinating because when I found out it was him, because I follow him on social media, I've known him forever. And I was like, what? You're the Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy?
Oh my gosh. I can't wait to hear more about this.
And can you imagine?
Okay, well,
can you imagine that nickname forever? You're just a Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy now?
Well, it's probably better than Hot Karl.
And for those that don't know, you can Google that for yourself. I'm not describing.
Maybe don't. Yeah, depending on what you want on your search history.
Yeah, and
Ask
definitely
a
don't
friend
click
to do it.
video.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to some news. What is up with Discord? Discord's looking at a potential sale worth $10 billion or somewhere in that neighborhood. I mean, sheesh.
Yeah, so Microsoft, everyone's favorite microchip company.
Oh, yeah, I got one in my arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Is supposedly looking at purchasing the communications and chat platform for potentially much more than $10 billion. The company was last valued at $7 billion, raising $140 million in December. And, it has like your A-list investors, including our buddy Neil over at Green Oaks Capital. So, another big win for him.
Golden touch.
Yeah, seriously, golden touch. And like this acquisition makes so much sense for Microsoft because it is predominantly a platform for gamers. That is kind of where they've built a huge following. And recently, I know it's also become big in the for stock market groups and crypto groups. And but
is it like a Clubhouse? Like, is it like? Do people use it like where you have a chat and then people can listen into your chat?
No, it's not like voice chat, right?
No.
It's literally text.
It's very similar to Slack.
Isn't Discord
It's Slack.
It's Slack, but for gamers and others.
I thought Discord was like what all the gamers communicate with their microphones on.
No,
Oh.
I don't know that piece.
Are you sure, Pete? Are you sure? I swear these guys always say like, go get on the Discord.
Yeah, the Discord is like a live chat.
Okay, so it's like it's Slack, but for whoever wants to follow you.
Correct.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
Gosh,
so you can have different chats on different topics. You can have an overall one just for like your channel, or you're grouped in with others. But yeah, very, very similar to Slack. It's almost exactly the same layout.
Yeah. It's built this crazy niche following with gamers. And it's definitely expanded beyond that now. And Microsoft has just like, everyone thinks they're a sleepy company, but they bought LinkedIn, which is now looking like a steal. They're heavy in gaming. We forget how big they are in gaming. We also forget that people still use Bing.com, and that's a $7 billion business.
That's absurd.
Which is absurd. And just the acquisitions they've made over the years and how they've been able to like figure it out and keep relevant. It's unbelievable. Like I'm blown away at like what they've done. I mean, all these large companies have done acquisitions really well. I mean, we can argue that Google made a bunch of shitty ones, but the few that have worked out, whether it's, YouTube or DeepMind or any of these other ones, they make such a huge impact on their business. And it's really hard to out execute large companies, large tech companies. Whereas like 20 years ago, or even 5 years ago, any large company outside of technology, we felt we can out execute them. Like you're just looking at some old boring retailer and you just knew they were going to get crushed by some young company. Whereas these old tech companies, I mean, and when I say old, I'm saying 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, not really that old, have done a phenomenal job.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see. But sounds like going to be a really interesting one, right? Like when you tie that into the infrastructure of Microsoft, could be interesting. But obviously I am out of the freaking loop, man, because I thought it was what all these gamers were chatting to each other on.
And what's interesting also is that Facebook wouldn't be allowed to buy this company. Google probably wouldn't be allowed to buy this company. So there's not that many people that would even be allowed to buy it that it makes sense for. So
how does Microsoft get away with it?
Because they're just not in the communications platform business in a major way, right? Like they don't own a social network. So it's easier.
Plus, they help the government chip everyone. I bet that was like, yo, you help us chip everybody.
You guys can go buy Discord.
Look away from this whole monopoly thing. Antitrust? Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Okay. What about it sounds like maybe if they really want to up the value and really like get strategic, There's a new board member flying around town that they might want to consider.
Yeah.
Prince Harry. Prince Harry has joined the board of Better Up. He is officially a tech executive. Things are going well.
Yeah.
I mean, how long has he been in town? 6 months?
Yeah. So they effectively made up a title for him. I love how companies have found ways to just make everyone a chief.
Mm-hmm.
Like Chief Impact Officer.
Oh, yeah. What's Elon's new title? Like Chief
Techno
Disco?
King.
Techno King.
You can be chief anything.
So, I mean, good for Harry. Like, go get some equity. Go get your feet wet with becoming a tech executive. And Better Up, the only reason I'm familiar with it is because of our friend Ollie. And do you know more of what they do?
Yeah, they Ollie, and I apologize if I butcher this, but they essentially they're trying to like make coaching mainstream. Coaching, like executive coaching. Got it. Stuff like that, right? So I think that they have like a network of coaches and they put together programs. And I think that it mainly is like towards like where a company can like, sign up for it and your team can get coaching. And it's like, how can you make that more attainable as opposed to now, like, what do? You go hire some coach who comes in and can only work with you. Like it allows them to sort of spread that out a little. I hope I didn't do that wrong, but it's in that lane.
Got it. Yeah, and I think...
So yeah, I mean, get coached by Prince Harry maybe. You can get like a little special offering for Black Friday, a Prince Harry bundle.
I don't know what he's going to coach you on, but
how to live like a prince.
But I'll tell you this, it was such a, how to live like a prince. The beautiful thing about bringing someone like Prince Harry on board, you're a global brand instantly, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone went up and was like, oh, Better Up, what's that? Like you now have to know what it is. And this is why like if you get the right celebrity or the right person involved in your business, the instant like brand awareness, it already paid for itself. Think about every newspaper in the world probably covered this story.
Yeah. And everyone said, what's Better Up exactly?
Yeah. And now we're all going to get served an ad and we're going to be like, let's go check this out.
We just said it out loud. I bet there's an ad on my Instagram right now.
Yeah. Waiting for you to open up.
Yeah. It's funny to me, like, it's funny to me how, like, when they came out with that Oprah interview and even in some things before that, like, there was sort of this, like, oh, like, poor them, or like, they're so brave, and like, they're going to be fine. They're gonna have these type of opportunities just flying at them.
Yeah.
And I feel like in a year, when you look at like the resume of what they're working on, it's probably gonna be insane. They're gonna be on like 7 boards and have a Netflix deal and have their podcast deal. And like it's gonna be nuts.
Yeah. And I think what's funny is just hearing people around the world kind of comment that what they did was so wrong, and just the way they handled the situation, it just showed they handled it perfectly from themselves opportunistic standpoint. They may not be approved by British citizens, but the rest of the world loves them.
Yeah. Who cares about the fake kingdom?
Yeah.
You're fine. You have a palace in Beverly Hills now. You're totally fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're going to be, I really feel like watching what they do over the next couple of years is going to be really like exciting. Like they're just gonna, we're going to look at it as the absolute no-brainer best move that they could have possibly made. They're young. They have nothing but time. It's going to look like they just made it the smartest move ever. That seems so risky now, I guess, to some people, but they're in a good spot. Okay, what's going on with Nike and Adidas are catching heat because of China, Xinjiang. What's going on that's coming back on Nike and Adidas?
So there's an area in China. I don't want to butcher the pronunciation, but it's in Xinjiang. And it's a place where a lot of global manufacturers are concerned that there's been reports of forced labor And, it kind of has gotten the attention of your H&M, your Nike, your Adidas of the world, Inditex, which is Zara. And obviously brands have to be very careful if they are sourcing products in areas where, unfair labor practices or child labor or, in some cases, some people are saying slavery is used for manufacturing, it affects your reputation as a company. And China actually really pushed back and said, you guys, all you big companies can't speak down against us in any matter when it comes to this matter. If so, you will have consequences from the Chinese government. And so now you're seeing this like power struggle between the government and Chinese social media and these big companies where they're apparently in some cases, some of these brands were removed from websites in China, and that, the comments made by these big companies have been removed because, Chinese government wants to control the narrative on this issue. And it's pretty scary because what happened instantly is Chinese brands in China, their stock prices went up because people know that the government is happy to kick you out if you don't play ball with them. And they're not going to tolerate these big ass companies speaking down on their labor force in any way. It's a really interesting thing, and I'm curious to see how Nike, Adidas, H&M, and Zara, because my guess is for all of those businesses, their biggest growth opportunity is China. Like they're saturated everywhere else in the world. So if it is China and you manufacture your product in China, do you ultimately just shut up and dribble?
I mean, that's what's happened in the past, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know how China every time squeezes all their leverage on people and gets everyone to shut up.
Yeah.
It's wild, man. It's scary. Like I feel like when you can control like corporations like that, especially in this country, I would argue at times have more power than the government itself, right? Whereas like for China to be able to make them shut up is scary. Like our own government doesn't have that power really. I mean, I'm sure, I don't know, maybe if they like really exercised it, who knows? But like for the most part, like Nike is known for speaking up with Colin Kaepernick and speaking out against the way things are running here. But a foreign country can make you, potentially just shut up and make shoes. That's scary.
Yeah, and there was they used one random quote of a internet user in China and pretty much said, if you boycott Xinjiang cotton, we'll boycott you. So, who knows who actually wrote that, if that's real or if that's just Chinese government kind of putting that out in the universe. But, Nike, Adidas, H&M can't afford to lose Chinese consumers. They need it.
Yeah.
They've all invested billions of dollars. Like for example, H&M, check how crazy this is. Thursday morning, H&M did not exist on some Chinese store locator maps. Searches for H&M stores on Baidu Maps yielded 0 results. The retailer's official store on Alibaba's Tmall, that's their Amazon, was inaccessible.
Yeah, they don't give a shit, man.
Yep.
It's just so crazy. That's what's crazy is like they have so much leverage.
Yep.
It's like, what are you really going to do at the end of the day? Like, what's Nike going to do? And then they control the narrative in their own country where their own people can not, you know what I mean? Like their own people can be like, yeah, screw you, we're boycotting. And like, they don't even, the narrative's completely different.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, I've also seen a lot more stories popping up about how likely it is that COVID was a lab leak.
Whoa.
Just saying that the story, they're going deep on like the cover up and how like they're trying to find the initial cluster, and the initial cluster looks like, it could have came out of there. And it looks like it might have been made for research for a vaccine to prevent a future bioweapon. Like, I have no idea, and I'm not trying to QAnon anyone here, but if we could get to that story, I would love to, like, that's a story I would be very passionate about. Learning about the investigation on where COVID started. It's fascinating to me. And I don't think we'll ever know.
Didn't we have a story like a couple months ago that the U.S. intelligence had confirmed it was created in a lab?
Yeah, like those articles are starting to come out, but nothing is reliable. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like nothing is reliable because they can't get that final, all like the data for all these places were taken offline like back in, November, and like all these different things happen where they're having trouble getting like the hard proof.
By the way, even if it was, the United States ain't going to say a goddamn thing.
Yeah. You would need like an independent journalist to somehow figure it out.
Yeah, and that person,
you know what I'm...
You don't want to be that independent journalist.
Yeah, boom, gone. Wouldn't see you again.
But it's like, what's his name? Was it Greenwald that teamed up with Snowden? Like, you need like a heavy hitter like that with a big platform that has risked his life before and will do it again. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't think we'll ever find out, but I'm fascinated. Like, they're saying it looks like it's a virus that was altered with bat DNA and pangolin, and that's why it was sort of looked like it ran through those populations before it got to us. I don't know, but I'm fascinated by that. But it's obviously the biggest case of like, we'll probably never know.
Yeah, because you imagine the information you would have to get access to try to learn those things? It would be hidden. It's gone. You wouldn't be.
It's not even hidden. It's literally gone. Right. And anyone who knew it is probably mysteriously
gone as well.
Yeah.
If you were within 500 yards.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What is going on with, we're in the business of, doing a lot of production, shipping in goods to the country. And it looks like there is a massive, like, I've never seen anything like this, massive ship carrying containers, I believe, grounded in the Suez Canal, which is blocking $9.5 billion a day worth of traffic of goods. And they're warning that it could be stuck for weeks.
So this is this is a
absurd.
disaster. So this is pretty much the quickest pathway from Asia to Europe. So it's a devastating passageway. It's to apparently $4.5 billion a day flows through the Suez Canal. And what's happening is that, very simply put, if you've seen Austin Powers when he's trying to turn his little cart and he's stuck.
Oh my gosh.
That's literally what happened with this container ship, and has created the biggest log jam in like the world.
Oh my gosh. And it's just blocking everyone.
Yes.
It's blocking everyone. So now people have to go like ridiculous route. I think the route I saw is just, it's so nuts how much further it I think goes under Africa now to go get to Europe. I mean, it's like ridiculous. So this is a catastrophic problem. Hopefully they're looking at a number of different ways. One of them is actually removing every container and taking apart the ship, which could take weeks, they're saying.
Months, I would think. This thing is massive. If you can see here what I'm holding up, so down there in the corner is an excavator trying to dig out around it so it can finally turn. The excavator is a penny, or it's such a small little thing compared to this massive ship. It's going to take them days to even dig around it and get it to move, let alone unpack that thing.
It's insane. And I mean, it's crazy.
This is insane.
It is insane.
What is Suez Canal? So sorry if I'm just going to make myself sound like an idiot right now, but like Suez Canal would be goods coming from where, and is it coming here?
Asia to Europe. Got it.
Okay. Well, hey, I mean, I don't know. For all of those that don't know, like, so for those of you who don't know, like, it's been a really, it's been a crazy year anyway, like with ports and importing goods and, obviously COVID restrictions and outbreaks and all that stuff. Like, for the people affected by this on the business side, it's got to be, I can't imagine. I mean, can you imagine just like you had whatever the heck you're expecting and it's like, I don't know, could be weeks?
Yeah. And, a lot of oil goes through there too. So, oil prices have actually shot up too, because that is a big passageway for that part of the world. But yeah, I mean, it's really going to be like an engineering feat how they figure this out, because that little bullshit ass excavator they got ain't going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I wonder
And
how
how many
that
billions of
happened.
dollars a day? It was wind. Wind had apparently just blown it enough where it teeter-tottered just enough
That
to get
thing is
wedged.
the size of a small country. The wind
Yeah.
can move it.
Yeah. And, it's
Jeez.
off the, it's Suez is in Egypt. So
Yeah.
it's got to be a very stressful time if you run that.
Yeah, I can't imagine those guys'
Yeah.
lives once they get off. Hopefully their names never get released, but you got to imagine.
I mean, it's just the pilot, just the captain.
I mean,
Didn't
this is
check the
insane.
wind advisory. Oh my
The
god.
tornado of winds that threw you.
Jeez. Okay.
All right, everyone, it's D here. And of course, I got a deal for you. Ba-bum-bum, tsh. We are still having our warehouse sale over at New Republic at shopnewrepublic.com, where we have our most popular styles, our world famous Chelsea boot, our most comfortable white sneaker, rated the #1 white sneaker by GQ, all at 50% off. Up to 50% off. I don't want to promise you it's all 50% off. It's up to
Yes.
50% off. But we have a special deal, and the sale will expire because, Josh, we don't like to run sales too long.
No.
I'd love to run a sale for 6 years because I like making lots of money. But, we're going to have to end the sale. So hop on down to shopnewrepublic.com, take advantage, load up. It's time to look good. I went to the Brian's restaurant, Santolino,
Yes.
last week. I could not believe that I was the only one wearing a sneaker. Every person was wearing boots. So
Wow.
you don't want to be left out in this new boot movement that's happening. Even Tim's got a pair of Chelsea boots.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, for
it's up to
a
50%
socialist,
off.
Socialists you didn't think would wear boots. They are wearing boots these days.
Everybody's wearing boots.
Yes. So go check it out. Shopnewrepublic.com. Enjoy.
All right. My next question for you, D, is what the hell is BitClout? Is this the new development in the everything blockchain absurdity, or is this something legit?
I mean, this is a good one for Anand and I to argue. I don't know what his take on this is. I think it's full of shit, but
It seems like it. What is it?
so it's effectively a social media built on the blockchain. And the idea is that you get to participate in like the rise of fame of your favorite influencers. So huge investors, Sequoia, Andreessen Horowitz, Coinbase Ventures, the Winklevi are all involved with this. And the idea is BitClout takes the profiles of popular Twitter personalities and puts a dollar value to their output. And then you can buy and sell various creator coins with Bitcoin. So, for example, the most valuable profile on the site is $70,000 per token. And that's your boy, Elon.
Okay.
And Chamath is at $42,820 per token.
Gosh.
And you can now like invest in your favorite creator. The challenge is they didn't ask permission from any of these creators. So they've just put all these people's names up there. And the way that BitClout came out and said, we'll hold this money for you because you can potentially take a percentage of it as a creator that you get to keep of the Bitcoin. And the idea then becomes that you can then claim it and you'd make money. But they're exploiting all these big people's names and saying, oh, when Kim Kardashian come claim your BitClout and we'll let you monetize, your profile. And so it seems a little dodgy because he didn't ask permission for some of the most famous people on earth. That alone is insane. My guess the lawsuits are going to start flying. Second, you can currently deposit Bitcoin to then use that as a token to buy your favorite, I don't know how you call it, get a piece of that creator, but you can't withdraw the money yet. So it's a one-way ticket.
Well, we know what that sounds like.
Yeah. There's a gentleman named
Bernie?
Yes. Last name Madoff, and he made off with a lot of people's money doing this.
Yeah, same strategy. Only in, never out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's getting too crazy. Every day that we do an episode, there's a new absurd piece of news here.
And I think what drives me crazy is that someone posted, unless I'm mistaken, the BitClout scheme has so far been able to raise 2,705 Bitcoin, which is $155 million.
You know how many Teslas you can buy with that?
Yeah. And the company is created by anonymous people right now. I'm sure that will change. But I get it. I actually like the idea in general. I like the idea that as a fan, you can participate in your favorite person's upside. The problem is that person has to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're not a part of it and you don't get a part of it's like investing in a business is you get a piece of the action. If the company does well, you're participating along with the growth of the company. This is an arbitrary dollar amount that they put on Elon Musk. And so other people want Elon Musk, so the price goes up. I get it. But you just get to trade off the name of Elon Musk, and Elon Musk doesn't get any benefit. Why would anyone allow that?
Yeah, I think we've joked a lot about how celebrities should IPO, which I still agree with. And that this is kind of in line with that. So it's almost something. But it's just, to me, I agree. To me, it feels so close to something. It feels like trading cards or if you have a Michael Jordan card or whatever, but there's no actual deal being done. It's just someone else makes all that money.
Yeah. And I think I think all these ideas in crypto and on the blockchain are very much like 1998, 1999, where everyone was like, the internet's coming, go through 1 billion ideas out there.
Yeah.
They were all right. The ideas were right. It was just the market wasn't mature enough to handle it. There wasn't enough people on the internet at that time. So as crazy as all these ideas sound, like everything from NFTs to what BitClout is doing, they sound crazy, but I do believe they will all see their kind of shine at some point. Yeah. But and these entrepreneurs are just pushing the envelope, and these are all funds that they're the reason why we have such advancements, like the Sequoias and Andreessen Horowitz of the world. They will throw hundreds of millions of dollars, and then an industry will be born. And maybe this company goes to zero in 18 months or 2 years, but they would have created an industry that someone else actually capitalizes on the idea. So I don't understand what BitClout is doing, but I think they're onto something.
It feels to me how there'd be no iTunes without Napster. Someone had to kind of open the eyes and take the fall for someone to really do it right. I do like the idea. I think if I was Dave Portnoy, I would try to figure out how to IPO myself. I really like the idea of because to me, that's almost what Elon actually does. That's almost what Tesla stock is an Elon Musk stock. But I really like the idea. We always say their stock's down or, their stock's way through the roof. I love the idea of just being able to bet legitimately on your person. They benefit if their stock goes up. They also get hurt if their stock goes down. It would incentivize, not doing poor behavior because you would start to treat yourself as a
But I think that's what BitClout
company.
is doing. It's based on your reputation, right? So I think that's exactly what they're doing. I think their idea is because it's similar to Napster. You go break everything. You don't follow any rules. And then you have enough money to go figure out how to solve the problem. So essentially, I think that's what they want to do. So Dave Portnoy is probably up on BitClout. Eventually, Dave's going to be knocking on their door and be like, all right, how do I eat off this? And, they're I think they're saying 20% can go to the creator. Or, you get to determine how much goes to the creator. And ultimately that will create what you're saying. It's just, they're able to be reckless because they have the money to do so. Because if you and I go do that, we'll get our ass sued so hard if we shut down in 12 hours.
Yep. Okay, well, I like the concept. So
yeah,
maybe in 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, in the meantime, Pete, load up on Elon. You know what I mean? Transfer some of that Hoj out to Elon stock.
Well, I was also going to say, guy like David Dobrik has this happen to him. Do you buy the dip or do you not? You know what I mean?
Ooh, see, good question. I think that is a realistic conversation that we will be having on this podcast in like 5 years, 3 years maybe.
Because technically,
I think
if you
we'll
would
be saying, do you buy the dip on Dobrik? What do you do? Like, I think that'll happen.
Had you bought the dip on Logan Paul 5 years ago, you'd be a very rich man right now.
It would have paid off.
Yeah.
There was even some dips on Portnoy that would have paid off.
Oh,
yeah. And I think that's what these guys, I mean, ultimately, we'd be more inclined to bet on this than companies.
Yeah,
right?
see,
This
I would do well in this. I would do really well in this. This is my type of shit. I don't give a fuck about a company and their S1s and their S that. F that. I care what your Twitter profile looks like and your Instagram. You know what I mean?
I want that exact quote on Instagram tomorrow. To our meme guy. To our meme guy, can you whip that one up? I don't care about S1 this, S1 that, F that. I also think it would incentivize people to behave. Like, I think we know how much careful attention publicly traded companies give all of their actions. They think it all through. They whatever. Maybe, Jake Paul could use a little bit of that. You can't punish him legally. You don't whatever. But if he, goes a little too far, the stock drops, keep him in line.
Yeah, I like that. It does feel a little slavery-esque.
Yeah.
Well, if you choose, it's not slavery if you are profiting heavily off of your rise.
I just don't want to be like walking down the street where people are like yelling at like Dave Portnoy, I own you. I own you.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that feels a little weird.
We can see where you're coming from.
His particular fan, Dave Portnoy's fan, would walk up to him and say,
shut up, I own you.
Yeah, they would say that.
Okay, well, when you put it that way, maybe it's a terrible idea. Okay. Last bit of news here is Rutgers University. So we talked about what's happening in the ever evolving response to getting vaccinated and things like people giving out free donuts and companies offering discounts and stuff like that. I've also been fascinated for our own sake how businesses and stuff are going to treat schools, that stuff are going to treat demanding people get vaccinated. It looks like Rutgers University has essentially done exactly that. For people, I mean, for the most part, for students going back fall 2021, you must be fully vaccinated.
So Rutgers, which is out in New Jersey, will require all 71,000 students who wish to return to campus to be vaccinated against the coronavirus. 71,000 students sounds like a lot of students for Rutgers. So Pete, can you look that up? But if that's the case, I'm sure it's part-time, full-time. Maybe it's all faculty also. But, the challenge now is Rutgers does not require all students to get a flu shot. So they are requiring everyone to have the COVID vaccine. This is going to cause insane issues, right?
Insane. There's got to be marches coming, right?
Yeah, because I ultimately actually believe it's the right thing to do because we are seeing how effective the vaccine is, especially in LA where so many people have been vaccinated. We've just seen a tremendous drop in cases and hospitalizations and deaths and we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I knew... Go ahead, Pete.
51,200 undergraduates with another 8,000 or so full-time staff, 14,000 full part-time staff, and then 1,200 plus international scholars. So yeah, around 71,000 plus.
Wow. So that includes faculty. And so I think ultimately it is the right thing to do because it'll get society moving again. It removes all the risk for Rutgers, right? So everyone's vaccinated. They want to have the football stadium packed. They want to have parties. Like,
Yeah.
at what point as a student, you guys are closer to a student than we are.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Maybe like
Go ahead. Yes.
maybe
What's
the
your question?
part-time MBA program. Yeah.
Assistant
but like
teacher.
Tim, Pete,
I'm
you know,
substitute teacher age.
exactly. Junior year of college, let's say you're starting your senior year in September, you have to get vaccinated. Are you getting vaccinated?
100%. Are you kidding me?
Of course.
Hey,
Tim?
you inject me with 2 of them.
Tim, nothing in you gets riled up over this?
No.
What's the
Just why would
pansexual
it?
community think about the vaccine?
I'm just asking. I know that maybe you guys have some pushback about like controlling, your body, what you do. I don't know. I could see that coming.
Yeah. Well, I think the woke community has been, really in support of the vaccine from the start. I'm very vocal about it as well, like from the start of this.
Woke.
Got it. Yeah, the local community.
The vocal.
That's right.
Got it. Okay, well that's good. So then who's anti-vax then? Is it because I believe like mostly like conservatives are all for it. If the woke is with it, is it just like more of a niche crowd of
Yes.
like conspiracy people? But they're saying it's half the country.
Yeah.
40% or something.
Yeah,
Who
but
are
where are these
people?
numbers-
If you
who's-
don't have woke and you don't have Fox News, who is left?
Well, where are they pulling numbers from? That's also the other situation. Is it a very
Maybe
niche
the middle,
group?
maybe the silent majority is finally fucking us.
Yeah. I'm curious to see, because if Rutgers doesn't seem like they're changing their mind on this, right? And they're preparing for their fall. So we'll see. I mean, if 71,000 people show up at Rutgers in August or September, then I guess they were right. If like
That's it.
10,000 people show up, they're out
Yeah.
of business.
I hate
true.
to say it, but this feels to me kind of like what I complained about on the other episode, where I said sometimes people in authority need to just make the unpopular opinion and let it prove out over time. I feel like it's probably going to be unpopular, but once we see those Rutgers football games, we're going to be like, all right.
Yeah, I'll tell you one place I'm going this fucking fall for a football game. This is Rutgers. And that I would
Yeah.
never say. I never thought I'd say that. They're a terrible football program.
It's going to be a blast. You should
They
just
are
go
the
party on the
absolute-
campus.
Hell yeah. What the fuck am I doing in LA? I'm going to where the fuck Rutgers is. You said New Jersey? That's near New York. That's close enough. Good enough with me.
Yeah, go there. I feel
Yeah.
like we're going to see that reaction and we're going to be like, all right, who cares? But I have to believe that there's going to be like protests and people with signs and
Well,
Right?
what happens when other schools start coming out with the same kind of requirement? And then it's just like,
you need all of them. You need all of them at once
yeah.
to say this is the new norm. Sorry.
Yeah. I think like,
Because what you're naturally going to have is you're going to have one that says, you know what? We don't.
Yeah.
Actually, it's your choice. You're going to have like contrarian sort of just to do it. Like you need everyone at once to be like, look, guys, sorry, but you got to do it.
Also, the other hard part is that colleges in general, it's not like walking next door and walking into the next building. To unenroll and to leave a school and then enroll back into a new one is such a long process. That won't happen tomorrow. So sure, they'll probably offer hybrid systems, but to try to take a stand and unenroll, like, they don't care. You know how long it's going to take you to get back into the next program?
Yeah, I wish I
6
had
months.
like a status symbol. I wish when I'm fully vaccinated, I got like a bracelet. Like I want something. I want something.
want merch.
I want like a
You know what?
charm, a merch. I want a shirt.
I want a merch.
I'm
I
gonna.
want. Yeah.
We should. I'll work on this. We're gonna make vaccinated merch.
I want something.
Nice.
I want to be able to run into other people out in the world when I'm fully vaccinated and just feel ultra sure.
Like give the head nod.
Yeah, just be like, oh, you have the red bracelet. You have the thing. Got it. We're all good. Yeah,
Yeah.
the nod.
Yeah.
What happened to
I want
the
that.
vaccination passport that we were talking about a while back?
So
I know.
actually my
People
friend's
were against
company is
that.
doing that. Ramen's company, Health Vana, is actually doing that in LA.
I like that.
So I think
But people
the
were also
problem is
really
you're-
against that. Because
Yeah,
they were like,
people-
oh, you
'cause-
can't police
Yeah.
where people can go. And, there's people on all sides. But I personally want my own I want a ring, like a Super Bowl ring. I want something.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
For getting a shot.
yeah. Maybe not Super Bowl, maybe like graduation ring, like a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Let's be price conscious. But I'm just saying, I want
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
Livestrong, like a Livestrong bracelet.
Oh, that could be good.
That'd be good.
I'd actually heard about somebody who was profiting off people's vaccinations. And it was actually a guy who bought a laminating system and he sat out apparently in New York outside of a vaccination station and waited
That's
for people to
hustling.
come out.
I like
and
that.
then laminated their card for $5 and was making thousands of dollars a day.
I love it.
Into it.
Yeah.
That's
I like it.
amazing.
So
Great idea, great opportunity. And if I was at that vaccination station, you're damn well right. I would have got mine
$5
laminated and
Yes.
bought a fucking lanyard to put it on and just wore it around my neck.
Yeah. Like you're
Like a
a
college
kid,
student.
like a kid in high school who just got his first car or license.
Absolutely. Yes. Okay, good stuff. You ready for winners, losers content?
Yep.
Okay, let's end strong. Well, who is your winner of the week?
My winner, which has not been my winner for a very, very long time, probably for the entire duration of this podcast.
Oh, wow.
USC.
Uh-oh, what
Whoa,
changed your mind?
what
I
happened
thought
to
they
you?
would never- I thought they would never be back in your winner's box, to be honest.
I mean, there's nothing hotter than USC right now.
Oh,
USC
my gosh.
in March Madness is in the Sweet 16.
Oh, you bandwagon mother effer.
And
Classic Dee Murthy.
and then
oh, my gosh.
so I'll be, re-bringing back my merch, my USC merch.
Oh, my
Harvard who?
God.
Harvard who?
I'm done. I don't know what Harvard is. I didn't see them in the Sweet 16.
I don't think they were in the tournament.
Take the
Yeah.
flag down.
Dorks, those dorks,
The
too busy
nerds.
studying and reading. We're trying to win championships here.
Oh, my
Um,
God.
And I also, and another reason why is thanks to the hottest show on Netflix, the cheating scandal, the college admission cheating scandal documentary on Netflix. USC is heavily featured there. So we are hot. We are back. Doesn't matter. It's because we're cheating. We are a very, very hot school. People are willing to spend
gosh.
$400,000, $500,000 to where I went to college.
So you're back. So you're
Yes.
you're full Trojan.
I'm a Trojan till we lose.
Oh, my God.
And then I'm back to Harvard.
Nice.
So admissions are through the roof because you guys are famous now?
Admissions is actually really, really hard to get into USC. This documentary, by the way, it was going to be my content recommendation. I have another one. It's fascinating
But
because
it had
it's
to
kind of,
it had to up demand, right? Is what I'm saying.
oh yeah. I mean, my guess is if you're a high school student watching that documentary, you're like,
You're like,
these
I want to be
people are
around
willing.
some cheaters.
Yeah, like these people are willing to spend $500,000 to go to this school. I want to
Yeah,
see
you're
what's
right.
in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the
You're
same
totally
thing. I'm
right.
sure Cinnamon Toast Crunch had a record week.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
tastes freaking amazing.
Yeah, you went and
I
bought
mean
one.
it. Yeah. I
Yeah, they
ordered
got
when I
one
was ordering
sale out of
groceries.
you. Yeah, man, that's pretty wild. That is going to happen. So what? I thought their sports teams were shitty. They got better.
Yeah, I mean, so we have like a top 3 pick on the basketball team. I've
But
been with
football's
them
still
since
bad.
day one.
Oh my.
Football's been struggling for a while.
But basketball, you never left.
I never left the basketball team. When I
Got
found
it.
out they cleverly hired the young man's father to be the assistant coach so that he
Yeah.
would come there and he's the number 3 pick in the NBA draft. I mean, the amount of corruption at this school is just unbelievable.
Savages, man. But it's going to work. They're going to have like a record. Like I bet 2022 for USC is going to be record
Insane.
breaking.
Yeah. I mean, this documentary, you guys should all watch it. It's like a docudrama and I could see Tim becoming like a Rick Singer.
Why?
Yeah.
You got to watch the documentary.
Yeah.
Tall and lanky,
Starts out
man.
with good intentions. Next thing you know
Yeah.
it, you're just a savage ripping
It's
off.
he had one lunch with Anand, and all of a sudden,
yeah.
All of a sudden, he's like, "Hey,
you
you
come
need
out
to get
Rick
your son or
Singer.
daughter in some into a school.
Yeah.
$500,000.
You convince yourself you're doing good work, and you're like making
Yeah.
things equal.
He's doing
Yeah.
a Rick Singer. He's going to be the Rick Singer of NFTs. Just
Yeah.
scamming everybody.
Yeah.
Of BitClout or whatever it's called. He'll be the
Yeah.
Rick Singer of BitClout.
Yeah, he's going to start selling like tokens on BitClout for USC and Harvard and says, if you buy
Yeah.
2 of these tokens, you're guaranteed admission into USC.
I'm gonna buy Earth.
I could see that.
I'm gonna buy USC on Earth too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Once you get a taste for that income, man, I feel like things are going to change.
And the amount of money this guy was, it's real money. It was.
And it was
is-
colleges all over, and it was a multitude of.
What happened to Rick Singer? Is he in jail?
No.
No, dude, he's in
'Cause he
fucking
turned on
Newport
everyone.
Beach right now.
He turned on
Oh, because he
everybody.
flipped. He Takashi'd.
Yeah.
Yes,
He hasn't
And
even
they-
faced a trial yet.
because they have to wait for everybody else to go through theirs before he goes through his.
And they're going to say,
He's good.
like, he helped bring down the house.
Takashi. What did Takashi
Yeah.
do? A year?
Yeah. That's
He'll do
probably what will
nothing.
happen.
Yeah, you just got to watch it. I was going to disclose some stuff. But.
Okay, I'm going to watch it this weekend. My winner is Bobby Shmurda. We never talked about it. Bobby Shmurda got released after, I forget, I think he did like 6 years.
Yeah.
I was watching some stuff about it. Like it was they got locked up on some real charges. They spent some real time in Rikers, but they're out. And it looks like he's really thriving, man. The industry has really embraced him like they should. Everyone said like Tekashi should be, gotten rid of and we should embrace Bobby Shmurda. Looks like they're doing that. Really excited for some music. But just, props to Bobby Shmurda. I'm a little late, but we didn't talk about it.
Yeah,
Shmurda gang.
Shmurda gang. Okay, what about losers, D?
My loser's Joe Biden.
Ooh.
Oh, geez, what is happening to you this week, dude?
Well,
Jeez, you're a USC guy.
What is it, the gas prices?
No.
Are they a little too high?
What got you, man? Was it the trip up the stairs?
No. There's increasingly big issue at the border, and of the southern border with Mexico, and the way it's being handled is just not what his voters expected, right? So he came out today in his press conference saying that we're sending back the vast majority of families that are coming, and the reality is they've only sent back 13%. It is becoming a safety issue for.
So what's happening? Like people are piling up, or people are
because
through,
I think when Joe Biden became president, a lot of people who were seeking asylum started heading toward the border, and he made like some joke saying, people are coming because I'm a nice guy. Like, I understand that may play well in a press conference. It doesn't play well for, when you're sitting at home watching the evening news. That people are gonna illegally cross the border because I'm a nice guy.
And Fox is just having a field day.
Yeah, and so you're also still hearing about some of these families separating from children. You're having that issue too, so that hasn't been resolved. We're having this this border thing is a very big issue, and I think. Obama was very tough on the border. He wasn't like letting people. He was more similar to Trump on that matter. It was just the way he spoke about it that didn't piss people off.
Yeah,
I think this is going to be a big challenge for him if he doesn't address it really quickly and handle it correctly. Ultimately, it is popular to have strong border control. I think if you ask Democrats or Republicans, I think strong border control is very, very important for Americans in general.
Yeah.
And I think there's a way to enforce it and let it be known. I don't know all the politics of it, but I think it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, this one's brutal, man, because I feel like we're in this era, and don't get me wrong, I was the first and most against Trump and the way that he spoke and treated people, but we're in this era of like, I feel like we're overcompensating the other way. And we're trying to we're not coming up with solutions. We're just trying to sort of like relax the authority on it. And like that doesn't work either. And I know that there is a group that probably wanted that. And so I don't want to say no one, but I do think like where I sit and where I think probably at least me, you, and Anand sit on this topic is like, we don't want anyone can do anything at any time. It's the language of how you treat these people. It's the wall, it's the cages, it's the murderers and rapists. It's it's that's so harmful.
It's the rhetoric,
it just seems like we're in this era of like I don't know. And maybe Joe Biden now is like scared to address it aggressively because it feels like it's against their message that, you had to go so anti-Trump when you're running. And so anti-Trump to them means inclusive and everyone's good and whatever. And I do think there's some justification to like thinking that a lot of the people even trying to cross the border thought maybe it'd be easier with Biden in office. And so there might have been an
100%.
increase,
Yeah.
and I don't know, man, it's a tough situation.
In February, 100,000 migrants were apprehended at the U.S.-Mexico border. Just in February, 100,000 people.
Yeah.
That is insane. That's a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, man. We're in a tough phase, I think, of like,
Yeah.
I hope it all shakes out and we get like some sanity and some structure, you know, and also some like nice, like kind words about your fellow man and woman. But like right now it's in a weird spot, it feels like.
Yeah. He's in a jam there.
Okay. My loser is just all the gun people. You know, I just think here we are, another mass shooting. You see this pattern of now's not the time to talk about it. You know, let's talk about it at the appropriate time. I know Joe Biden is making some statements and trying to make some steps there, but I don't know. It's just like, here we are. I don't know what else you wanted. You had a crazy guy with a gun. You had a good guy with a gun that was trained with that gun, and he died.
Yep.
And so you think that the solution is teachers with guns, and you think it's just the solution is more guns. It's like, I don't know. What's your rebuttal to that? Like, oh, well, maybe cops should have AR-15s. Like, I don't know. Like, you just keep trying to double down. Like, how do we continue to have these problems, and we just can't make any progress whatsoever?
Yeah, it's just sad. I don't see how it ever gets solved. I don't understand what's everyone's obsession with defending the AR-15.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's my understanding, and I could be totally wrong here, is that the AR-15 was designed like for a war weapon. I could be wrong, and I'm sorry if I am, but I think it's designed for killing people. I don't think it's not a hunting gun. Or I know people use it to like kill pigs and stuff like that. Like, I know it's used in that way, but I think that it was designed.
I mean, how shitty of a hunter are you that you need an AR-15 to kill a
So
pig?
if I'm not wrong, I think that there's like a problem in places like in Texas and stuff where there's just too many of these like wild hogs that destroy stuff. And so people like go in helicopters and shoot them. It's more about like, just get rid of them. It's not like a hunting thing. And I think it's sort of accepted because they like destroy crops and there's too many. That's my understanding. Once again, apologies if I'm wrong, but I think it's more of a like, let's kill a bunch of them. And so a good way to do that is with an AR-15. You're not like hunting for sport. But yeah, it's my understanding that thing's used it's made with war in mind. So
Yeah.
This guy was 21 or something, and you have like, obvious mental health problems, and you can get your hands on one. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Anyway, content. Sorry, it bums me out even thinking about content.
Content. I have some fun, lighthearted content since it is in the heart of March Madness. My content recommendation is called Top Class. It's on Amazon Prime Video. It is following around the Sierra Canyon High School basketball team last year. And that team is Bronny, LeBron's son. All kinds of famous kids' sons are on this team.
Is that guy on that team that I didn't, Mikey?
No, he's in San Diego, I think. Zaire Wade, which is D Wade's kid. Another Zaire too. Another bunch of young superstar kids. It is insane. Like, these guys are literally like the Beatles. And they're like 14 years old. And the amount of pressure these kids have as high school students is insane. I can't even imagine. One, it's incredible advertisement for the school. Sierra Canyon is right where I grew up. I grew up in Granada Hills. They're in Northridge, Chatsworth area. I've known the school my entire life. It was not a good school growing up. It wasn't anything people talked about. They all of a sudden, somehow, miraculously, I was talking to someone who has a kid there, recruited the right people, the right dean, right coach, got like this mix of like very powerful kids, very athletic kids, very smart kids. And now the school is amazing, it looks like. It's literally an advertisement for the school. These kids are traveling. They went to freaking China to play. Yeah. To China. Why are 14-year-old kids going to China to play basketball? I thought personally it felt a little exploitation-y. But apparently this is what's happening at all these top high school programs, is that these kids want this exposure so that they can go to the next level, whether that be college or the pros. But like,
and think about how cool. I mean, it's probably cool for them. You get to go to China at 14.
Yeah, but these kids
probably
they're so tired. So I've been watching this show.
Oh, they look tired.
They're so tired. My mom's like, I feel bad. They're like exhausted. Like, can you imagine at 14 going to China by yourself with your homies, and you have to play basketball and you're 15 hours ahead, and then you have to like want to talk to your friends on TikTok. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's just, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's
well.
really it's an incredible show to watch. And even if you're not into basketball, it's just like, holy shit. Like, these young kids have to deal with this kind of pressure is just insane.
Yeah. Okay, I'll watch that.
Like
this
the
is good
coach, like,
recommendations this week.
You pieces of shit, blah, blah, blah. Like, he didn't talk like that, but, just like yelling at them. I was like, dude, they're like the best team in the country.
Yeah. Yeah, I
What
can't wait to watch
platform
that.
it's
Those
on?
are both good.
Amazon.
Got it.
Okay, good one. Pete, I was actually hoping that you could provide my content update for the week. What's the update on your hero? We didn't get a check-in. Just maybe a quick overview. I mean, have you resubscribed to the app? Have you refollowed on?
Nope. Everything has been
wow.
deleted. I stand strong in that. So he's coming out. He came out with the second apology. And I think it had like a 99% thumbs up or some shit like that. And it's because these internet kids don't want to do any digging. And they're so willing to just reaccept somebody back into society. Yep. About 10% of what he said in that second apology happened to be true. Everything else has been refuted multiple times online because he's an idiot. He actually documented so much online that every claim he has put out now in the second apology is being refuted by his own self in the last 3 years of both podcasting and vlogging.
Too much content, man.
Too much content. Dude, this incident that happened in 2017, they have a podcast episode where he goes into detail about the entire thing, about how he coached Dom in the bathroom because Dom just wanted to have sex with these girls. And he was like, no, man. He was in the bathroom, like giving him a pep talk. Doesn't know what happened at the thing, but gave him a pep talk. And then later says that the guys who had peeked into the room, they were like, no, we were peeking into an empty room. It was just for the vlog. He then is on another podcast in 2018 saying, I had my friends look in because if we didn't see the three-way happening, the three-way didn't happen. So everything he said is being completely refuted, but it was because all the sponsors pulled out.
Gosh.
So fully canceled. I'll leave it at that. I stopped wasting my time with it. But Dyrdek, I'm sure in 5 years he'll be relevant again. So
I'm sure in 5
buy
weeks.
the coin. Buy the dip.
I mean, sadly, I'd buy the dip just for monetary gain, but not for anything else. So let's get that straight.
That's America.
That's fucking America.
America's mantra should be buy the dip.
At
Yes.
1 trillion%.
I buy the dip every time. So
Cancel them and buy the dip. That should be the mantra.
Yeah. Every dip seems to come back.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I have a content recommendation.
Oh, please give it to us,
Even
Tim.
though no
ahead,
one asked
Tim.
you, but sure.
this guy, you should have heard it before the podcast. This guy had one good episode and he starts talking down to me.
He's like, how much money are you guys making off of this show? I think I can get your rates up.
No, it's,
what do you got, Tim?
It's on Netflix. It's a show called Are You the One? And it's a reality show. And Dee, you would love this. It's hysterical.
Okay, what's it about?
That's right up Dee's alley.
So it's 10 people who are in like a really nice mansion, and they have 10 days to figure out. Each one is algorithmically paired up with somebody else in the house, and they have 10 days to get all of the matches perfect. And if they do, they all win collectively $1 million.
Wow.
Yep.
And
I think that used to be on MTV.
It's an MTV show. I don't think it's like new, but it's new to Netflix, and it's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other thing is, there's a season of where everyone's pansexual. I think you'd love it, Dee.
Wow. Just a lot of sex.
It's
that seems like it'd be like a harder episode than usual.
Yeah.
Because at least like, all right, we can split this down the middle, but you go pansexual, it's like, fuck, your options multiply.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. That's literally, wow. Okay. All right, yeah. I remember that used to be on MTV, and I would watch it every now and then. It's right up Dee's alley. Dee, I think you'll love it.
Okay.
That's right. You used
Good
to be
stuff.
on MTV, right?
I sure did back in my other life.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
What was that show? It was
Fun Factory.
Fun
It was called the Fun Factory. Yeah.
What was that big guy you were on the show with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bob and Big.
Bob and Big?
Big Rob.
Oh, Rob.
Big
Rob
Rob,
and
yeah.
Big. Yeah.
Big Rob, yeah. Good stuff. Okay. Do we have any shout outs?
You sure do.
What do we got?
Dee, do you have any?
No, I don't.
Well, I have one, and then we can get to Satoshi. But first, we have one from Mr. Matt Baker, all the way over in Brighton in the UK. He goes, shout out to myself. Being a big Kathy, I turned 23 on Sunday. The UK is still in lockdown, so I can't go out. So I figured a shout out from you guys is a close second. So happy birthday to you. He also accepted his offer to study a master's degree in international business economics this week. So that's pretty cool. Other than the debt he will now incur from it. P.S. Drama, don't let me finish my master's before a new episode of Short Story Long drops.
Matt, you should get a PhD. Yeah. You should get a PhD. Then he'll have
extend that thing.
Yeah.
Extend that. Yeah.
Go
4 more years.
4 more. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Good stuff.
Right,
Cool. That's all I got.
Then we got a shout out from karate instructor Daniel LaRusso.
Wow.
And this says, Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. I was happy to see Tim change as a result of that lunch with Anand. The Wolf of West Hollywood has arrived. I think I'm not in West Hollywood. I thought that there was some better chance of Tim joining the Westboro Baptist Church than of him becoming a capitalist. So I guess that means anything is possible. Now on to my winners, losers, and content.
Oh my God.
My winner of
this guy.
I know. My winner of the week are all of March Madness underdog teams that won. Way to compete and not let the rankings define you. My loser of the week are all of Tim's old friends. Tim was the model socialist and next up in the line as the face of the socialist movement. I love Bernie Sanders, but he will die eventually, and now they need to find a new successor. Good luck with that. Tim will probably turn AOC into a Republican too. My content recommendation is Cobra Kai. I know I'm late, but wow, it's incredible. Just wrapped up season 1. Tim becoming a capitalist would be like Daniel LaRusso joining Cobra Kai. That's pretty much it. Have a great weekend. Good luck to everyone doing the run challenge.
All right.
Nice. There he is. Satoshi.
Work.
Okay, is that all we got?
That's all we got.
All right,
That's
team.
it.
There it is. Everyone have a great weekend. And we'll be back on Sunday, and I'm sure we'll have some new NFT to tell you about.
Pete would have gone all in on the David Dobrik BitClout by then.
For sure. He's probably Googling it. He's probably Googled it since this episode started.
Don't worry about me.
Okay. All right. Everyone have a good weekend. We'll see you on Sunday. Peace.